bottles pollute our environment each and every year, and it takes over 1,000 years just to decompose one. You do the math. We clearly don't have enough time. But what about Tetra Paks? They're the solution, right? Wrong. In case you didn't know, a Tetra Pak is a paperboard carton, like an almond milk carton or a juice box. Our version is cheaper and is fully recyclable. The reason a Tetra Pak isn't recyclable is because it has an aluminum layer adhered to the paperboard and polyethylene, making it impossible to separate and therefore impossible to recycle. Only 3 plants nationwide can recycle a Tetra Pak, and the rest are sent to a landfill or burned. The aluminum is used for sterilizing food particles, but this is useless when it comes to drinking water. In a recent study, Tetra Pak estimated global recycling was less than 25%, and over 1/3 of all Tetra Paks are incinerated and turned into
box water product that is actually recyclable. Let's take a closer look. For design, we have 2 main components, the cap and the base. For the base, we decided to remove the aluminum altogether and go back to the basics, mainly using paperboard only with a light coating of polyethylene on both sides. We actually talked to the VP of packaging at Georgia Pacific, and he confirmed that paper mills should have no problem processing this material. We also decided to use polyethylene for a cap, as the less variety of resources used, the easier it is to recycle. Polyethylene is also a type 1 plastic, so it's required by law to be recycled by plants. We use simple materials that are easy to separate and recycle, ensuring that any basic plant can recycle us, unlike Tetra Pak.
Besides getting advice from experts, we decided to get opinions straight from the consumer market itself. We took a survey of over 1,000 people and we got outstanding results. 86% of people recognize the need for sustainability, and 70% of people are willing to pay more for boxed water.
We're in the promotional product market. We chose this market because it's a great fit for the BWI. The market is $23.3 billion, and drinkware controls around $2 billion of that. Drinkware is also the most effective promotional product. It's a consumable, so every time somebody drinks from a BWI Easy Pack, they're going to see your logo and your marketing slogan, and leaving a real and lasting impression on the consumer. Not having boxed water at your events is just a missed opportunity.
So our target market is venues and companies that have a focus on being eco-friendly and attract a large amount of people. This includes nonprofit events like 5 and 10K runs. For example, we have a direct line of contact with a man named Jeff Galloway, who hosts over 300 5 and 10K runs across the US every year and buys over 1.2 million water bottles annually. He said he's ready to start buying from us starting in December, which would generate $1 million worth of revenue for our company. Additionally, there's 1.5 million nonprofits in the US, and each of them has some sort of fundraiser where they're looking to promote their company. And as you can see on the screen, no other drinkware does this like our Easy Pack. The other place we want to sell is public places, like zoos, aquariums, and national parks, because all 3 really want to keep our environment safe, just like the BWI.
Our carton is truly recyclable, unforgettable, and completely customizable. Lastly, and most importantly, it shows a positive image for your company. It proves your business is serious about protecting the environment and is willing to be part of the solution, not the problem, with pollution.
Our Easy Pack blows the competition out of the water. Plastic bottles may be cheaper, but they have no added benefits whatsoever. And even though the Tetra Pak's insulative, because of this, it's not environmentally friendly and it's more expensive. Now, let's take a look at our Easy Pack. We have a lasting consumer impact because boxed water is a fresh, new, interesting idea that customers are fascinated about. So whenever they think of boxed water, they're going to think of your logo on our box. We're also environmentally friendly because we use materials that we make sure are 100% truly recyclable. In addition, we're insulated because we use paper instead of plastic, which has a higher specific heat capacity, allowing your water to stay cooler for longer. We do all of this for a fraction of the price, making our Easy Pack the obvious choice.
BWI has experts in every facet of the industry that help start up our business. First of all, we have Hildy Isaacs. Hildy is the nation's largest promotional product distributor, and she's ready to add our product to 400 of our active clients. Another connection we have is Steve Cox, who's the owner of Water Promotions. He's the nation's largest custom label water bottle manufacturer and is excited to add our Easy Pack to his website. Next, we have an impactful mentor in Scott Light. He's the Executive Vice President of Packaging at Georgia Pacific. He's guided us through the process of designing our Easy Pack and has approved its true recyclability compared to the Tetra Pak. Not only do we have Scott Light, but we also have Philip Wilhite. Philip Wilhite is our manufacturer. He's approved to manufacture our Easy Pack and is local to Atlanta, which reduces shipping costs and improves efficiency across the board. So we have 2 different ways we're going to sell our Easy Pack. The first way is through a hired salesperson. They're going to directly call different aquariums, zoos, and other public places and market our product to them and get a sale. So the second way is through promotional product distributors. Now that means that we're going to have people like Hildy Isaacs and Steve Cox, who already sell promotional products like pens and notebooks, will feature our product on their websites, Geiger.com and waterpromotion.com, respectively.
So we have four major ways we're looking to market our product. The first and majority of our budget is going to go towards promotional product trade shows like the PPI Expo and the ASI show, because this is where our target market is going to be. And unlike the other products there, like pens and notebooks, we're unique because we're box water, which has never been seen before in this industry. We also plan to use salespeople because we have a list of over 500 contacts that we're ready to call to drive business towards the BWI. Next, we're going to use social media because we want to educate the masses about the problems of Tetra Pak and highlight the consumers that use our product in order to encourage people to move towards our Easy Pack. Lastly, we're going to spend the remaining portion of our budget on Google AdSense so that whenever our customers use the internet, we'll become the first on their browser and the first in their minds. So we've already begun reaching out to that list of 500 contacts that I mentioned, and everybody from service managers to key customers to VPs of giant companies have been shocked about the truth of Tetra Pak and fallen in love with our idea.
For our iterative process, we have three main questions we wanted to answer. The first being who we should sell to. At first, we're leaning to selling directly to consumers, but realized that we have a larger opportunity for distinction in the promotional product industry and became B2B. Next, we questioned what our product should look like. And in creating our design, we actually used customer insights and asked end users what shape of the box they would prefer, which led us to our hexagonal shape. Our final question we asked was what the product should be made of. That's when we took a closer look at the Tetra Pak and realized it wasn't truly recyclable. But with the help of our trusty advisor, Scott Light, we created a new design that was actually recyclable with the removal of aluminum. This brings us to our final product, the Easy Pack, the only 100% recyclable box water product on the market today.
This is our revenue model, where we foresee us selling our Easy Pack for 85 cents a box. It will cost approximately 20 cents to fill it with water, label the box, build a container, and the shipping and handling of each individual Easy Pack. After doing the math, our profit per Easy Pack will be 57 cents. Lastly, we have a very high markup of 204% because it is cheap to manufacture and has a higher perceived value.
So once a consumer approves the design, that's when we start the manufacturing process, which has four major steps. First, we make the cartons right here in Atlanta with Philip Wilhite and Wilhite Packaging. Then we send them down to Miami so Water Promotions can customize the boxes exactly to our customer's specifications. After this, we send it to the city of which the customer finally wants it in, so we can fill the water up in regional water filling facilities. And lastly, we ultimately send it to the venue of the customer's preference so they can have boxed water at their events. We fold the boxed water into cartons and fill them up in regional water filling facilities in order to reduce shipping costs, because it's 26 times cheaper to ship boxed water than plastic bottles, making it the obvious choice.
Our year one finances look very promising. We start fast and do a large amount of revenue in year one, in part due to the industry leaders and connections we already have to get this business off the ground. We're also a very safe business. We don't have to spend any money until we have an order in hand, which reduces overhead and allows us to quickly shift with the market. We do $1.8 million of revenue and $1.2 million of gross profit in year one, which is 67.1% of our revenue. In addition, we have an extremely high gross profit margin of 67%, since the product is so cheap to manufacture and has such a high perceived value.
Moving into the next 4 years, we're able to maintain growth from our first because our customers can't get enough of us. We'll be getting repeat orders from returning clients, and you also need to remember that our order size is just so large. We sell around 20,000 boxes and bring in $17K with just one order. We're also able to maintain overall low cost with extremely low shipping costs that Akshay was talking about, and with the economies of scale. Based on that fact, we're able to predict in our fourth year, we'll make around $7.6 million in revenue.
Now I would like for you to meet your team. I'm Rumu Datta, your COO, Akshay Parra, the CMO, Roger Singh, the co-CEO, and Nikhil Alwal, the co-CEO. We'd like to ask for an investment of $150,000 in exchange for 10% of our company.
And finally, we want to leave you with this. In 10 years, BWI could save close to 95 million pounds from being tossed in the ocean. Be a part of the solution. Demand the Easy Pack at your events and invest in our company. Thank you for your time. Any questions?
Awesome. You guys are within your time. Tariq, why don't you go ahead and start us off? Okay, two questions. One, why is the shipping cost 26 times less? That's one. And the second one is, have you done any production runs so far? And how much water did you produce and what was the outcome?
That's a good question. So I'll take the second one first. We haven't been able to run any production runs since we've been working on the design of our product, because creating the recyclable design is something that's new in this industry. So we recently came up with that. So we haven't had time to do a full run. And then the second part of your question about the 26 times cheaper to ship, Akshay can take that for you.
Yeah, so plastic bottles right now, you can't fold them down. So they're at their full size when they're being shipped throughout the whole process. Meanwhile, boxed water, you can fold them down so they're basically flat when you ship them. So you can ship a lot more. So then the shipping costs will also go down. Additionally, we fill them up in regional water filling facilities, so you don't have to do as much traveling, because most water places just have one location where they fill up all the water for the whole nation. We make it more centralized to reduce shipping costs.
Well, Priyanka, why don't you go next?
You're on mute, sorry.
Yes, no, thank you. Keep forgetting that. It's a great presentation, and this is such a burning problem to tackle. I have a question about your outreach. So walk me through what are the different marketing outreach that you have thought about, and why is this, you especially speak to me about your B2B model and whether or not you're looking at B2C, and if so, how you're doing that.
Yeah, B2C is a good question. Nikila can take that for you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. We're actually focusing on doing B2B rather than B2C because we wanted to make sure that we were different from others. In the B2C industry, we have like competitors like Box Water is Better and Just Water. And just entering that market, we wouldn't have enough distinction to actually be successful. But in the promotional product industry, there are very few sustainable products. And companies have a strong desire to look environmentally friendly, and our product enables that through a water product, which has never been done before in the promotional product industry.
Great, thank you.
Puneet?
Excellent presentation. I think it's a great problem to solve. So have you thought about a global outreach, or you're only thinking about a certain market? And any thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I can take that for you. So really, when it comes to global water, it becomes more difficult to find a water supplier. So while we would definitely like to expand into the global market past year 4, for the first 4 years, we want to concentrate nationally because of FDA approval and other things like that. That all falls on the regional water filling plan in the USA. So we don't have to get any FDA approval. But if we went to global, we'd have to get certified by other external organizations. So it's cheaper and easier to stay in the USA for the first 4 years, but we definitely like to expand in the future.
And
Thank
we've
you.
got more time, so if any judge has a follow-up question, now would be the time for that.
Yeah, I saw the slide with the prices, 85 cents, 77 for plastic, and 90 cents for something else. I mean, that's not much of a price difference. So you're relying on the, I don't know, social consciousness of the customer to go to this as opposed to a price advantage.
Yeah, so the reason that our product is more expensive, it is placed at a premium because all environmentally conscious products are. So as you've seen in many other examples of products, people are more likely to go towards the environmentally conscious option, especially businesses, because they have to look environmentally conscious to their customers. And then when they look environmentally conscious, they have a very good public image. For example, you can compare the public image of a sustainable company like an aquarium in a national park. They have very clean public images and people trust them with national initiatives because they actually care for our environment. So if businesses can sell customers on the idea that they're protecting the environment and doing a good social deed, it can really help their marketing and PR image.
Anybody else? We've still got a little bit of time.
Yeah, one quick question. Have you ever thought about being socially responsible and also being financially viable or cheaper than the normal market? Why can't it be done?
That's a good
Isn't
question.
that one way a problem to solve?
Yeah, so we actually are at like the very cheap model right now because we are providing we're only like 13 cents more than the average custom labeling plastic water bottle, but we're providing a lot more like benefits for the company. And we felt that price was fair as we're doing so much more for the company only for 13 cents more. And the plastic water bottles are
And
good promotional
that's
tools.
time.